Hello again, America. John Christopher McInerney back with you again. Mac, we're discussing all the issues that are not being discussed in this election cycle. What you're looking at is the best, the vibe of 2016. If you want to check out my news board, that Wrigley Old news board I'm so proud of, the best vibe you're ever going to see in this election, check it out in the Mac Plan Part 1 through 4. You'll see the details in 3. The best vibe we're going to get as to what's been happening with this administration and why we need to make changes, why we need to get the candidates talking about it and talking about it now. Let's start right off with our patent office. Cable Box is spying on us. It's creepy. They gave them permission to do it. We should be making serious noise out there. I can't believe nobody's talking about it anymore. Let's make some noise. Let's get it talked about. Kids struggling with one and no parents out there. The amount is just unbelievable. It's a national crisis. We need to step in and help them. We can do it. Let's first give them safe clubs, a good place to be in the city. They can get away from all the chaos. Big brothers and big sisters to help fill the gaps. Give a good opportunity, someone with a positive role model for them. We can do this. Let's reassure our seniors that we're not going to raise the retirement age. Too much talk came through in previous debates. Hillary's even talking about this. We need to stop that kind of talk. Let's roll our sleeves up and get back to work. Affordable drug options. Drugs going crazy overnight. They can't afford it. There has to be some kind of intervention. We need to be able to look into it, make a fair system for drugs. We have to do that. Retrain our veterans hospitals. So easy to do. We go, we get some local talent, we bring them in from hospitals, retrain them. We got a lot of people that care. Let's get them retrained. Let's turn it around. Let's take some of the worst, turn them into some of the best. Student loan relief. Let's stretch it out for them so they can put a roof over their head and so they can eat properly. Maybe buy those medications they need. We can help them out. Let's do it. Disabilities are up 230%. That's alarming. I believe a lot of these people went in because they don't have job opportunities. Let's create the job opportunities. Let's help pull them out of there and get them back in the workforce. It's going to help everybody. Let's do it. Clean water filtration. State of California ran out of water. What are we irrigating our crops with right now? What kind of water? We should all be alarmed. It's all on our dinner table. We really got to focus on this. Let's do it. Natural crops. Good for us. Great for exports. Let's get back to it. That's what they're looking for out there. Let's do it. We're talking about starting bank savings again. Not only to set a precedent for our children, but our lending partners in the world that we are serious, that we are getting back on our feet. This is a great way to do it. Let's have money for a rainy day instead of always picking up the phone. We need to repair the government loans with the adjustable rates that were served to us. We need fixed rates. We really need to do this. Got to focus on this. Pitfall insurance for homeowners. They have PMI insurance which protects them. We should have pitfall insurance to protect us. Maybe it's a bad economic time. Maybe it's a bad health emergency. We couldn't work. We don't want to lose our homes and all our equity in them overnight in one fell swoop because of one bad situation. We should have some kind of insurance out there that we can have to protect us. All homeowners should be thinking about that. Create an affordable home model. So easy to do. I'm a master carpenter and builder. We just don't focus on it. Now, it's not the responsibility of the government to put you in a home, but we should create the opportunities. Let's create the model, get it rolling, get the opportunities going, and then hand it right off to the local contractors and let them take over. Great for jobs, let's do it. Lower notoriety with less media time. Time and time again, we show that same bad story 10 times a day, 5 days in a row. We've got to reduce that notoriety by not showing it. You missed it, go on the computer, check it out. But we've got to stop showing it time and time and time again. Business incentives, job training. Hillary touched on it. She's looking at more infrastructure direction. I believe in some infrastructure, but that's also standard playbook. We need to look at all these other areas that we're lacking, whether it's water filtration, whether it's natural crops, whether it's alternative energies, all these businesses that should be returning to us if we give them the deals to do it. We need to focus on it, and I have the plan. If you want to see MAC Plan Part 1 through 4, I'll talk about it and show you a complete plan. We need to work on other areas, not just our infrastructure. Mass amnesty is the carrot on a string. Check out the citizenship study if you don't believe me. If we take a whole bunch of people in at once, even if Congress was willing to do it, that would put a $6 trillion upside down. It's never going to happen. It is the carrot on a string. Don't let them fool you out there. It's a cheap way to get you vote. Don't let them fool you. Healthcare. Instead of charging us penalties, I pay a penalty, $800 a year, to not have health insurance. For somebody else to have it, and I don't have it myself. How about a savings account? Maybe that money goes into an account for me in the future. How about that? Considering it's my money, let's turn that one around. Oil and gas, everybody talks about oil and gas. What they don't talk about is let's put safety equipment on this stuff. We've got leaking liners out there, spreading it into the atmosphere, getting into our communities. Let's get safety equipment on it, which ultimately is going to put more money in their pockets in the long run. And also, while we're at it, let's really protect their land rights. We're getting too close to people's properties out there. We need to respect them. We need to do this. Larger rate of return for our cooperative lenders, whether we have a trade issue, whether we have patent infringement. When we have issues, who's ever helping us get through these issues easily, maybe we can offer them a faster rate of return. Remove government from loans altogether. They shouldn't be in it. They ultimately set the rates. So they give us adjustable loans, and they can decide when to change the rates and play around. Too dangerous. Another grab at our property. We need to get them out of the loan business. It's one thing to help get things set up for people to be able to afford loans. It's quite another if they're controlling the interest in them. We've got to get them out of it. Let's talk about agents. We need accountability, not czars. People who will find themselves explaining their actions in front of Congress. Someone who can check into a racial matter with police, who can check into a targeting situation, or a Bureau of Land Management. Any issue going on out there, we need agents in the field to be able to do it, who are also accountable at the end of the day. Campaign caps and reform. We have to do this. We all saw what happened with Bernie. He never stood a chance. But if we don't start to act now, if we don't get some reform in there now, no one's going to be able to step onto the stage if they can't raise $20 billion. Too much money going on. We've got to cap it. We've also need some reform. It needs to happen. Crisis response. That was my first one. I could go a half an hour on that. In short, when you're at your worst, you want to know the government is on the way. Someone's coming to analyze the situation. If everything's great, they're coming back in. But if not, they're going to take immediate action. They're going to start making it happen for you. Vaccine shortages. We all remember what happened when Ebola hit. We got the patient number 3 and we ran out. We can't have it. We have to address it. It's a bad situation. Biohazard training. We've got some going on out there, but in a crisis, we lose a lot of individuals. We need more who are properly trained, who are in the local area, and who can properly help if we need it. We've got to get more of that going on. Business tax increases from 2013. The businesses, small and large, were already whipped. That's what they're not telling you. They were already whipped, and now we're going to hit them with barbed wire. And what's going to happen? They're going to start fleeing the country in massive numbers. We need businesses coming back to our country. I talk about overseas money and how we can get it and how we can get it back to help us accomplish things like this. We need to focus on it. Please take a look at it. It's already happened to them. Everybody out there, every business out there, start making some noise. We need you. We need you on our side right now. You're a minority, but I'm standing here for you. Let's make some noise. The White House silenced the media. That really happened. We need to have an administration who can take the heat. They need to be able to run stories, good or bad. Department of Justice calls us a nation of cowards. And on top of that, they're also involved in sending that guy, I won't mention his name, you know who went down to Ferguson. All he did was inflame the situation, not cool it down. He inflamed it. That's what we got from them. Bureau of Land Management taking huge parcels, 70 acres, 100 acres. Wow, they don't fool around. They don't just take a couple at a time. On top of that, they're also able to tax. Boy, there was a great story about grazing fees. We never got to the bottom of that. That was a great story we missed. We got to check into that. IRS targeting. Not just of the Republican Party, but individuals are being targeted now. And on top of that, I'm going so far as to say it appears to be extortion. Appears to be extortion, and I hope you think so too. There is a story that'll stand the hair on the back of your neck right up if you check it out on that news board. We've got to look into this stuff. And I say, creeping us and storing it. Forever, forever, forever. All these little minor things in your life being stored in a file, being kept, supposedly safe somewhere, like we believe that. You know, we've got to end this stuff. It's getting out of hand. The FDA approves tracking pills. What are they using those for? That's a heck of a question. EPA, overreaching on our land again. Do you see the pattern? Land, land, land. They keep coming after our land. So if you have running water that moves at all on your property, they now have rights to it. We've got to end that. We've got to strip that back. On top of that, they can tax us. They've got a rain tax they're hitting us with. And that can happen anywhere in this country. If it happened over in Maryland, it can happen anywhere. We've got to end it. We've got to stand up. State taxation intervention. When states are putting too much burden on us, someone, the government, needs to step in and say, hey, cool it. Cool it. You're not being fair to the people. But that hasn't been happening. We need it to start happening, and we need something online so they can properly do it officially. Hacking protection for our hospitals. Nobody's talking about that one. It happened. It really happened several times. We've got to help hospitals out who are not in a position to properly make their computer software up to speed. If they need a little hand, we're going to help them out now. They can pay it back later. Let's help them out. Let's get it done. Protect the files. Reject body implants. Companies overseas are doing it. We don't want it here. We don't want these things. They push a button. Next thing you're supposed to be happy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can imagine where that one can go. Let's reject it. Negotiate poppy field destruction or reduction, whichever way you want to look at it. But we give millions of dollars in aid to the country of Afghanistan. We should be able to take a hit on that heroin coming. We got to slow it down. We've got to make sure whatever's getting in here is only going to get to the adults. We've got to keep this away from the kids. We've got to do it. Incredibly dangerous. We can do this. Address the bias with the Supreme Court. Many years ago, everyone's forgotten about this one. Justice Ginsburg said she wanted an all-woman court. Well, we certainly want to get our young women thinking about becoming justices. Absolutely. But to say all-woman court, that's bias. Now combine that, she recently spoke out against the candidate Donald Trump. That's the second time. Now we've got a pattern of bias. We've got to make sure that we end bias in our courts. They are lifelong positions in the Supreme Court. Let's look into that one. Because there's something can be done, I'm sure. When we're talking about stronger sanctions for counterfeiting. Now, North Korea is one of the worst. We don't have good relations, but we must sit at the table. We must sit down and discuss this. From time to time, we've given them aid. Let's talk about it. Let's work on it, because it's hurting our dollar out there. We can do this. grants for new alternative energies. I personally like the mechanical end. I have personal interest in it. I also believe we should be looking in biofuels. We should be taking other directions, not just oil and gas. In a crisis, we need to have other things online that we can reach to if need be. We really owe it to ourselves to keep focused on other alternative energies. Revisit the Arms Trade Treaty. Anybody who owns a gun out there should be interested in that Arms Trade Treaty. We need to make sure we avoid any future standoff from happening. We can do that by revisiting it and making sure that doesn't happen. We can use our Stock Act along with raises to help Congress motivate. Now, we let them have their fun. Now we expect them to roll those shirt sleeves up and get to work for us. Really get to work for us. We need to do this. Come on, Congress. Come on. If I had anything to do with it, I would sit and listen to each and every one of you. And that's what I would hope the new president does. City and Town Community Day. What is that? That's where we all come together to show we're country strong. Country strong now. Country first. Okay? A day when it doesn't matter what time of day you show up. Maybe there's a board there shaped in the name of your city or town, and everybody just gets to write their name on it, and then we'll take pictures of it at the end of the day to see our support, how many people showed up, right? It's a sign that when things go bad, we're the ones that are going to step up to help. We're going to play our part, and it doesn't matter if that means filling sandbags to keep back rising waters, boarding up windows and doors for a bad storm coming. We need to be able to play our part. We can do it. And while we're at it, let's get behind our police. Let's do it. Okay, these people care about their communities. Let's rally for them. Let's get behind them out there. Let's turn the thing around. Our military, same thing. Let's turn this thing around. These people are risking their lives for us every day. Let's turn this one around. Let's rally for them. All lives matter. We've got to end the divide. Because if we end the divide, we could really make stuff like this happen. This is absolutely possible. We just got to talk about it. We've got to make some noise. So athletes out there, please, get off your knees. You're not accomplishing anything. This is what accomplishes right here. Real direction. Help us out. Rise up now. Rise up with us and help us. Send this to your favorite athlete. Let's see what they say about it. Send this to your favorite actor, actress. Let's see what they have to say. We need to get this addressed. We need to get it out there. Talk about it. Buzz it. Tweet it. Facebook it. Whatever you can think of, do it. We've got to get these candidates to address these before the election. Because once that election happens, it's game over. We're keeping it brief today. That's it. Mac out. Hope to see you soon. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mac out. We'll see you.